The rolling hills of southern Saskatchewan can make for some difficult walking, but what makes the terrain challenging for the hunter can also make it ideal for mule deer. The countless hills, draws, and depressions provide plenty of places for deer to disappear. They needed to carefully plan each move. For Kelly and Terry, covering the country on foot would be the best way to find out what these hills were hiding. Even the smaller deer could quickly give away their presence, making every approach a calculated one. Using the terrain to stay out of sight, the two continued forward, stopping along the way to reassess their approach. With the plan in place, Kelly and Terry attempted to close the distance. But getting close to a mule deer without being noticed is easier said than done. Before Kelly, Terry, or the cameraman could get into position, the deer had spotted them. Their opportunity quickly disappeared over the hill, leaving Kelly and Terry to continue the search. As Kelly continued through the hills, he came across two mule deer bucks. During archery season, most mule deer are still carrying their velvet. The added thickness can change the perceived size of a buck during these early months. But with very little wind and an awkward angle, getting close would prove difficult. Kelly decided to work his way around the deer, while Kevin stayed behind to keep an eye on them and film the stalk. As Kelly tried to improve his position, a doe had already picked him out, giving him away.
We had a couple of close calls tonight, so hopefully we can get onto something tomorrow and make it happen. But in all, it's still lots of fun being out here, and I tell you guys, gotta keep in shape. These hills take a beating on a guy, but keeps you young and keeps you wanting to do this. Wish I was pulling the strings this year, but I'll be the camera guy, I guess. So, still fun getting out.
During archery season, the early morning can provide a brief window while deer remain out feeding, making them easier to pick out across the hills. Kelly continued covering ground, coming across a good whitetail along the way, but his attention remained on finding a mule deer buck. Eventually another was spotted, tucked back into the hills. Kelly worked his way into position and finally had an opportunity. He drew back and released. Almost immediately, a larger buck appeared off to his right. With little time to think, Kelly quickly nocked another arrow. But again, the arrow missed its mark.
Well, heading back to the truck. I'll pick Kelly up. He's looking for his second arrow. I tell you what, it's excitement we seen one buck, and when we got over there and looked, he picked up another one, and we got to his 40 yards. And I always say, if you get within 40 yards, that's a win. The bonus is when you got the knife to them and you're cleaning them up. That's the bonus. But getting with 40 yards in the kitchen, and Kelly just, I got on video, just missed by, oh, I don't know, an inch, half an inch maybe. You could see the arrow just front shoulder, just below it, just a little bit. So I said, that's exciting. Yeah, you want to hit one every time, but how much fun would that be if you hit one every time? You know, you got to make it a little exciting, and you got to have some video. But that was fun. You know, maybe tomorrow will be the day. But we'll keep at her. We got a couple shots. That's what it's all about. So stay tuned. Hopefully tomorrow we got one on the ground. Talk to you later as the moon is out and the sun is set. That's another night for OFP.
Thank you to our sponsors, Morstead Farms, Crown Advertising, Prairie Land Taxidermy, Diamond S Ranch, T&K Oilfield Services, and TSB Oilfield Construction Limited. Morning began with Kelly making his way through the fog. This time, the terrain would be different.
It's foggy out.
The rolling hills gave way to the steep ridges and little tree cover in an area known to hold a good number of deer. As Kevin and Kelly made their way over the ridge, they were shocked at what they'd find. The water initially appeared to provide a natural barrier, possibly giving them an opportunity to close the distance. But one by one, the bucks entered the water and began swimming across. What they thought could work to their advantage had now put a barrier between themselves and the deer. The following morning, Terry joined Kelly and Kevin as they returned to where the mule deer had traveled the day before. They arrived early, hoping to catch the deer still feeding. Still feeling the effects of their previous day's hike, the three decided to wait, hoping the deer would eventually show themselves. After a few hours with little movement, they decided to push deeper into the hills. Several decent mule deer bucks were eventually spotted throughout the surrounding country. As the day began to wind down, another buck caught their attention. They had come to call him the unicorn buck, easily identified by the long, solitary tine extending from his right antler. With daylight beginning to disappear, Kelly attempted to close the distance and was eventually presented with an opportunity. The shot happened outside of Kevin's view.
So you knew it was 30.
Missed by that much.
Ready to land. What a very breakthrough.
Damn it. Wreck your broadhead?
No.
A month had passed, bringing an end to archery season and the beginning of blackpowder. Kelly and Kevin were joined by their friend Haji, who had drawn a mule deer tag. They returned to familiar country, making their way back to the same ridge Kelly and Kevin had used only a month earlier. This time, the ridge produced results. Several bucks eventually revealed themselves, but with the draw tag in hand, Haji was willing to be patient. The deer were decent, but not quite the caliber they were hoping for. For now, they would pass. As daylight began to disappear, another buck was spotted on the walk back. He was worth a closer look. But darkness was quickly becoming the deciding factor. With another day ahead of them, there was little reason to force this opportunity. The following day, Kelly and Haji returned to the ridges, continuing their search.
Well, that's too easy.
Mule deer were certainly not in short supply, but finding deer and finding the right deer were two different things. Several bucks were spotted throughout the day, but they knew the right one for Haji was still out there. One larger buck did catch their attention. Keeping his distance, he remained high above Kelly and Haji and well out of reach. Tucked deep into the grass and almost completely hidden, another buck showed the importance of glassing your surroundings. With black powder coming to a close, Haji ultimately decided to hold off, hoping the approaching rut and rifle season would provide a better opportunity. Rifle season had now arrived, and this time Chris joined Kevin, Kelly, and Haji, carrying a mule deer draw tag of his own. An early morning opportunity presented itself, but the buck wasn't quite what they were looking for. With plenty of daylight still ahead of them, they decided to keep searching. It wouldn't take long before Chris and Kelly came across another buck. Bedded deep in the willows was an older, wide-framed mule deer that immediately caught their attention. Chris settled in, took aim, and made his shot.
Alright, holy Christ. Oh,
So I was trying to get his attention, you know, like a couple times bobbing and weaving to get him to stand, and then,
I was aimed right at it. That cue was almost perfect.
Yeah.
probably longer or
As
something.
soon as they come up, I was just
Yeah.
like, there you go, that was perfect. He was laying there, we just didn't have a shot at him laying buried, so going through some trees and we just didn't get a shot. So, had to wait him over, but he knew we were over here after.
Good win today.
Yeah, a lot of wind. So, let's go.
Yeah, take a look at that sucker. Check. Good job, fellas. Thanks a lot.
Pretty good length coming up there. Yeah.
Oh, that sucker.
No.
No.
Splits
Get
off.
on the wall. Yep. Awesome.
job.
Thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate it, fellas. Fun to do it with guys too, eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Always fun.
With Chris having filled his tag, attention now turned back to Haji. His decision to wait for rifle season was beginning to look like the right one. Kelly and Haji continued glassing the surrounding country, looking over deer and waiting for the right buck. The rut was now in full swing, and bucks were becoming much more active. Bucks were traveling hard after does, making themselves much more visible than earlier in the season. Eventually, an old brute appeared. His heavy dark appearance and worn blunted antlers were signs of an aging mule deer. Haji's patience was about to pay off. With the buck in range, Haji settled in and took his shot, but something wasn't right. The shot appeared to only graze the buck. Having sighted in his rifle just the day before, the result was unexpected. Startled, the old buck moved across the valley, eventually bedding down on another hillside. The opportunity wasn't over yet. Kelly and Haji worked their way around the valley, hoping to approach the buck from the opposite side. With the buck still bedded, Haji was given another opportunity.
Good job, Kelly. Thanks, buddy. Excellent. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, be nervous, you bugger.
I couldn't swipe in there.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I had him up, but I just come down right almost like
Oh.
That's a nice buck.
Cashed her in.
Nice
trophy.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, we crawled a mile.
At least. It was exciting, and I thank you guys for coming out. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Some opportunities disappear as quickly as they appear, while others come through the patience and persistence needed to keep going. For Kelly and Terry, archery season would end without success, despite the close encounters and opportunities they had along the way. For Chris and Haji, that persistence would ultimately result in 2 memorable Saskatchewan mule deer. But the value of a hunt cannot always be measured by the animal taken. These hills will be walked again, bringing new opportunities and new challenges, but sharing the pursuit with friends is what continues to bring us back. Thank you for joining the pursuit.